So
Yeah.
I want to talk about like you for a minute. I mean, obviously, like seeing your journey and seeing like comics and drawing illustrations, and you took that entire aspect, like you said, you think differently. Like you dream outside the box, and you took the comic drawing and you kind of made it into an education platform for STEM students. I want to like talk about like that journey for a minute. Like, how did you even like compile these different fragmentations of different art sections and combine them into this where you are right now?
Basically, it all came from the Art Institute of Atlanta. And it also even came from how I was taught as a kid. So basically, Daydream Academy is pretty much teaching and educating kids the way most kids are being or need to learn right now.
Mhm.
We are not in a space in a world where traditional you sit down, you hear a lecture, and you basically um, try to comprehend it or try to absorb it, or you sit down in books and stuff like that and you comprehend it. No, we're in a space where, especially in this digital age, to feel, to see, and to hear things is the way people learn. And I that's basically what I learned at the Art Institute of Atlanta, because I was originally supposed to be going to Morehouse, man.
Mhm.
And when I wasn't able to go to Morehouse, it was kind of more of a blessing in disguise because, as you know, in the Art Institute of Atlanta, it wasn't your traditional sit down for 45 minutes, listen to a lecture, go write a 20-page thesis statement.
Yeah.
Nah, it was like, here's your camera, here's access to the computer lab, go make me a 30-second commercial, go make me a 20-second PSA, go do a graphic design work, go do stuff like that. It was more about the doing than it was about the sitting down and lecturing. And that basically changed my whole mindset on what is going to make you, because in the media field, it's a competitive field, man. Like we were there trying to basically do work and try to be best of show and basically trying to do showcases and things like that. And at the end of the day, it's like, what is going to make you different? What differentiates you from everybody else?
Mhm.
And I originally went to the Arts of Atlanta because I love comics and I wanted to do comic books. But my issue was I couldn't draw if my life depended on it. Now I could draw a mean stick figure for you, but to actually draw, I could not draw if my life depended on it. So I was like, okay, let me find some other solutions on how I want to visually express my storytelling,
Mhm.
right? So that's when I went to the Arts of Atlanta. Originally, I went there for graphic design, but then, of course, that's when the digital media production degree came, where you can take graphic design, video, all this stuff, and then basically put it together.
Mhm.
And what that did was it made me realize that I can take different forms of media to tell a story.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, all this is telling a story. This podcast is telling a story. Facebook is telling a story. All the social media, everything is kind of telling a story.
Mhm.
And that's kind of more of the essence of what Daydreamer Academy is. It's kind of telling a story, but then more so on the business end of it, I had to find. I heard this quote from, I think it was Reverend Run. He's like, people don't get paid for problems. People get paid to create solutions for the problems. And that has always been kind of my business model when I was doing media production work with Neo Media Group. My model was service is our solution.
Mhm.
And it was like, let's identify a problem and I'll have a solution for it. And I realized that I was getting more traction. I was getting more, let's say, I was getting paid more and getting paid more lucratively having solutions for people than basically telling stories and creating problems. And again, like, when we're, in the media production world and the media field that we're in, you know, it's like, well, I could find me or someone to videotape my wedding for cheaper. What makes you different? I could go get an intern from the Art Institute of Atlanta that's going to pay you. What's going to make you different? And I realized that when I would basically do those type of gigs,
Mhm.
I think you already know you get paid little for doing so much different work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, you really didn't create a solution. You just basically created more of a problem for yourself.